The windows are boarded, and the glass that you do see through it is fogged up like with smoke. I guess it's a yellowish. You can't see through the windows.
So does it look like it might be like a speakeasy type thing, like a non-public gathering area?
Well, it definitely is some kind of a establishment. It just looks real old and ran down.
Does it look like it's open to the public?
It looks like it is open to the public, but you're not seeing any activity there now.
I'll catch up, I guess. So is this where it leads us? Or,
Yeah.
is this building butted up against its neighboring buildings, or is there alleyways?
There's narrow alleyways in between. It's not joined up to anything.
Right.
Can I go around back?
Sure. What would you like to do?
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we hear anything inside, just from the street?
As you're listening, you can't really make out any kind of sound from the inside.
All right. That's early morning.
It's early morning.
Relative.
So you go around back. It looks like there's a small rear door. So there is a back door. But other than that, there's just some broken...
No obvious basement or anything? Like there's no
not that you,
doors or anything?
not outside that you see, but there's broken bottles and it looks like vomit on one of the steps.
Fun.
Things like that. It appears as though it's closed from the way you're looking at it.
Well, if they're layering in a bar, we're not going to get very far without just resorting to violence. I don't think. We don't have a footpad to pick this lock and get us inside. So.
Is there anything else in the area noteworthy?
Well, this is the first time you've been in this area, and it's run down. Nobby, and it looks like there's a whole section of the town. You're kind of coming up on it. So this is sort of like at the edge of when this starts, you start seeing this. But the buildings look like some of them are ruins, like they've collapsed in on themselves. There's some that look like they're burnt. The place looks like kind of a disaster zone once you get past where this building is.
So this building really is at the edge of town?
It's kind of down in, kind of around.
But there aren't
In this area.
there isn't buildings and stuff past it that are occupied, or they're all ruins?
There are some, but you're seeing some of them are flattened. Some of them are just foundation burnt. And you do smell
Does it
kind of...
look like it's recently burnt and ruined?
You smell fresh burnt wood. You don't... You know what? You do make note that you don't smell a lot of farm animal like you do towards the center, where the bazaar and all that stuff is. There is an absence of horse or cow, but you do smell urine, feces.
You want to go around the front so we can get inside?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Who's doing it? Who's approaching?
Well, does anything change? Is there anybody out on the street or anything?
No.
No. I'll just go up and I'll try the door.
Okay. It's locked. It feels locked. Okay. You don't hear any kind of stirring. You don't hear anything.
Oh. Okay.
To your head, to your mind, you're like, this place is closed.
Can I try and look through one of the windows?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
The windows are boarded up, but there's gaps, and there's the smoke-filled glass.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's rubbed away from the edges. You can kind of see, and inside you do see tables. It's dark in there though. You don't see much, but you do kind of make out the shape of a bar, and some lights reflecting on this wooden wall that has glass bottles and stuff. So you're taking it that this is probably a bar like in a tavern,
Okay.
something like that.
So the only light coming in is through the windows?
Yeah.
Okay. So the roof's intact as far as I can tell. No light.
Yeah.
And it's just a single story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a fire, I guess. And they're closed. Probably boarded up the windows to prevent anybody from looting the place. What do you think? Try the back door? Force the back door?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Around the back.
Go ahead.
I'd like to listen at the door before
Oh, okay.
I can force it. A few times.
Put your head against the back door,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quiet.
Okay.
Just no noise at all in
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try and I'll put my shoulder against it. Well, I'll try it first, see if it's unlocked.
So it's locked.
Alright, then I'll smack it.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Alright. 2! I have a strength of 15, so if it's a minor test, 1 or 2.
Yep. The
Okay.
door gives way.
Yep.
It doesn't come off the hinges. It doesn't break, but the lock, the bolt that was locking it, pushes through the wood on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and you gain access to the back of
Okay.
this building.
Alright. Take a look inside just from the doorway.
It's dusty. It smells like smoke. It smells like alcohol. And where you're at now is almost like a storeroom. There's some shelves. There's some barrels there.
Do I see anything, from inside the storeroom? Like, I'll look at the ceiling, see there's signs of fire, like burnt timbers or anything like that. Does it look like...
You don't see any signs of fire.
Okay.
But you do see like sheets that are kind of hung as dividers for the different rooms where they have storage and stuff like that, and they're stained yellow.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay.
Do we hear anything now that anyone was in there that has noticed us bust in?
It is silent.
I'm gonna light my lantern.
Okay.
Then I'll set it just inside the door.
Okay.
So opposite of the hinge side, I'll set it in there, bullseye open, showing light inside, and then I just look back at Bethany and I go, just in case, and I pull off my back and I start tapping the floor directly in front.
All right.
I mean, the place could be unsound, or it could also be the lair of a bunch of cutthroats. And I start tapping to see if there's anything, if it sounds okay.
Okay. You're gonna follow in
Yeah, right behind him.
behind him. All right. You're tapping with the pole.
Mm-hmm.
It all looks just as it should. There's old floorboards.
Is there gaps between the floorboards?
There's some gaps from warping and from
I'll
age.
If there's a particularly wide one near me, I'll just take a knee and take my lantern and try and tilt it without spilling the oil.
Mm-hmm.
Try and tilt it down a bit to see if I can see if it's just dirt below, or there's a cellar or anything like that. If there's a cavity below the building.
It looks like there's dirt.
All right.
About estimate 2 feet, 2.5 feet down. You'll see,
How big is the storeroom that we're in?
I would say the size of the island back to the cupboards and about as long.
Okay. So kind of, not too far into there. I just want to reach my pull out and pull the curtains aside one by one and look behind them.
Okay. There's barrels. There's bottles. There is small sacks of tobacco.
Strange that they would leave all this here if they had no intention of doing
Is there evidence that, does it look like this is like a working tavern, or does it look like it's a lair of sort?
Yeah, well, also, is there dust on stuff? Is this all... I'll thump a barrel and see if it sounds like it's full, and I'll poke a... Well, I assume if I knew this sack had tobacco in it, does it just say tobacco? Or
You smell
oh, you smell it.
the
Okay,
familiar
so
smell
as
of
I
it.
poke these things, is there like
Yeah.
dust coming off? The stuff, or?
There is dust coming off of stuff, but the
Yeah.
barrel is full.
Okay.
The glasses that are on the shelves are dirty.
Mm-hmm.
They're not cleaned well, but they are. I mean, you can see that they are in use. It's not like they haven't been used. They're just not cleaned well.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
But the whole place looks dirty.
So, is there another door going into the bar proper, or
There is like a leather
just like another curtain?
curtain.
Okay. I'll, if I can, just push that aside with my pole.
So it's on curtain ring
Runners,
kind of
yeah.
runners, and it goes across. And you look, you see some of the light coming through the thin spots of the glass that doesn't have smoke and soot and stuff.
Yeah.
And it is, there are tables around. I don't know if you walk in or...
Right now, I'll stand there and I'll shine my lantern around and go look at the bar.
Yeah, it looks like it was used the previous night. You're seeing now that it is a functioning tavern.
So I want to look around, like looking specifically for like looted items to see if it's used as a lair of sorts.
Okay. So where are you looking?
I'm gonna go back while she's doing that and go and close the door we came through.
Okay.
Kind of like where he is, like moving the.
I'll hand it to you because if you're gonna start.
I have a pole.
No, my lantern.
Oh, your lantern.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just doing a check of the whole room,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. I mean, there's bottles and there's stuff here, like on tables that looks like candles were sticking out of, things like that. You can't really judge whether it is an item that's from the bazaar, and even if it is, did they buy it or did they steal it? You know, it all
there's
looks
nothing that looks like
out of
looted stuff, like a stockpile of.
not a stockpile. And from your, just looking over the room, everything that you're seeing looks as though it belongs on the tables or on the bar.
Is there any other doors leading to any other rooms?
Not that you see from where you're at. Now you're heading back towards to close the door.
Mm-hmm.
As you turn and you go to look at the door, you see this guy in the doorway, and he's just looking at you. What are you doing in here?
Looking for some stolen goods.
And he does this raspy kind of laugh, and he
Yeah.
starts coughing, and he spits.
What does he look? How is he dressed? Like, what is he looking?
Rags, rundown rags, scraggly hair, balding on top with kind of a swoop around his ear, and he's in the doorway and he's laughing
Does he
and
look drunk?
coughing.
I'll not menacingly, but I'll take a couple steps closer to him. I'll be kind of like because it's dark in there. I've handed my lantern off.
So you smell the alcohol coming off of
Okay.
him,
Yeah.
and you walk towards him, and he's just kind of in the doorway, and he goes, "What is a paladin doing in this bar?"
I'm no paladin, sir. Were you a sailor?
I was.
I can tell. You've weathered many storms.
I have.
I pull a gold piece out. Actually, I'll pull out 5 silver. Gold piece is a bit much to break. I'll pull 5 silver out.
What's this for?
Alms?
Alms? What do I look like, a hard case to you?
No, you just look like someone who needs a break.
You're trying to pay me off, aren't you? You're trying to pay me off so I don't tell the authorities.
The authorities? Please. The watch doesn't care for anything that happens here.
Well, I may know a thing or two about what they know and what they care about. I mean, but he still takes the...
Takes the silver? Okay.
So what are you doing in here anyway?
Have you heard of the tin sums?
Well, of course I've heard about the Tim Sums.
Wow.
Everybody hears about the Tim Sums.
Wow. There's a lot more than that if you happen to know where they are. They accosted us on the road, took some precious items from us.
Well, I tell you what, you could be in some real trouble, Master, if you mess with the Sums. I don't think I even like you. So what are you doing at this point?
Do I hear that he's having this conversation?
You hear murmuring and you hear the kind of thing.
So I'm going to, when I hear that, I'm going to draw my bow and head that direction. I'm going to, is there a thing to shield the light, a hood on the lantern to...
It's a same thing as
Bullseye?
a hooded one, right? It's a bullseye one, so is
Yeah.
that the same thing? You can just
I think
close
so.
the thing on it. Like,
It just gives a more direct,
Yeah.
I think that's what it does.
yeah, it's got like
A more directed hole for the light.
yeah, but I didn't think about that. It might be different than a hooded one. Let's see. No, you can't hood that one.
Oh.
Okay.
But it's bullseye, so it's just
Well, I'm
shining
gonna...
light.
I'm going to, as I get close, I'm going to...
I mean, you can just turn it off.
I was going to
Yeah.
say turn it off
Yeah.
so that I can kind of sneak up and kind of be given cover because I don't know what's going on yet.
Are you going past the leather apron into the room?
I'm going to where I can like see but not be seen.
Okay.
Close enough to that if I need to.
Are you just peeping through?
Peeping.
Okay. So he's like, so how many gold pieces you got?
I smack my money pouch and I go, some of that's gold, some of it's copper.
Well, you give me a gold piece and I'll tell you a secret.
I'll give him a gold piece.
I'm of the opinion that them Sums are in with those religious folk. The church of Nifthsis.
Does that ring a bell with me? Have I heard this?
It does not,
Hmm.
but it sounds like an ancient religion. The name
Oh, does it
sounds
sound like the same language as the tomb that we went into or something?
sound like that, but you can tell that it is an ancient language that it's coming from. It's
Okay.
not anything contemporary or more recent.
Okay. What god is that? I've never heard of that.
That is the goddess of grief and death.
Oh. So
Now-
they're a cult.
Well, cults and churches, you know.
There's a big difference.
Hey, look, you said you were not a paladin.
No, I'm just a curate, but believe me, there's
Well-
a huge difference between cults and churches.
Those are the guys I think they're in with. That's what I think. I think they're taking all those goods and they're giving it to the church so they can have good luck while they go steal more stuff.
So since I've seen that there does not seem to be an imminent threat, I'm going to come through into the room.
House bells! He's scared, you know, and he kind of stumbles out of the door and falls down on the ground.
I'll step out, help him back up.
Wait, who's that?
It's my companion. Nothing to fear from us.
Companion.
I stand him up.
You know, I am looking for a companion.
So where might we find this church?
I am not a church-going kind of guy. They don't treat me nice there. They say I gotta clean up my act.
Well, I didn't
Actions.
say that you'd go there. I'm asking where we might find it.
I think it's where the grapes grow. I don't make the grapes. I just drink the grapes, man. I don't do any of that. Well, see you later. Make sure the door's closed before the boss gets back.
Will do.
He starts kind of stumbling off.
That was expensive. I go back inside and close the door.
You go inside and close the door while you're inside?
Yeah. Well, okay. He fell down, right? Was he inside?
No, he fell down outside.
Yeah, I went
came
outside
out.
And picked him back up, and I go back inside.
So you're going back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll go. Well, I think maybe we lost the trail. Do you want to see if you can pick up any tracks in here? Maybe they tracked in some mud? Or...
Yeah. Can I look and see if I notice any? Can I go to where, like, the front door is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you see that there's a bolt on it. It was locked from the inside, you know. Suspect that he probably locks it from the inside and the outside and then goes out the back or something like that. Whoever this is that owns the place. You see some of that mud, and there's little chunks of it kind of leading off to one of the tables. There's no there's no track from the boot, but there is that dirt kind of following off to a table.
Are there tablecloths on these tables, or are they just naked
There's
wood?
bare wood.
Oh, yeah. Find anything?
Just looks like the tracks end here.
So they maybe met here and then went on? I don't know.
Is there any, like, loft area?
No, this is single story.
I want to look at that table and see if there's anything scratched in it or anything underneath it.
You find various scratches, hearts with arrows and S, loves, M, all this sort of thing. You do see, a T and an S etched on some of the tables. Could be.
I'll X that out. Actually, I don't have
Any edged weapon?
any edge weapons.
At this point, you guys are feeling a little mentally drained. A little
We need to rest.
tired.
We should get out of here. Maybe go back to the marketplace.
Okay.
I'll pick up my lantern.
And you guys are going to head back to the marketplace.
Yeah. I'll
It's pretty uneventful.
try and securely, I can't lock it because I broke it, but pull it shut pretty well behind us.
Okay. You make your way. You're weaving back the way you came to the bazaar area.
Do I see any tracks out the back door at all?
If you're looking for those ones you were following, then no.
Okay.
So as you're making your way back, there's various, more looky-loos in the windows up top, or around corners. There's some guys that are roughed up, just like the man you talked to, who are kind of passed out on the ground with a bottle between their legs. And as you get back towards the main crossroads area, you see more activity. You start seeing people walking and going about their business and smelling farm animal again, smelling shit again, farm shit. And then you head back and...
I guess we'll take a break at that point.
Is there like a park or area or something like we could take a break and people watch?
There's just, there's the market square there.
Is there like a fountain or a low wall we can sit on or anything like that?
Yeah, there's, some low wall that looks like it's from other construction, like maybe ruins from the previous people who were there. Yeah, and you just watch the people. And the merchants, you see that some of them are picking up and leaving, especially the ones that had their tables flipped and got rolled for the money and stuff. They're getting their cart with their mule and making their way out of there. You see Meinhof every once in a while kind of walk and tend to people and talk with them and stuff. But looks like the market is starting to clear up and move out. The people you do see, a lot of them they look poverty stricken. Now, they look over at you and their eyes kind of get wide. You do overhear some of them talk about, are those the two that got rid of the thing in the temple? I think it might be. And you see their eyes come down and see the mark of the ivory scimitar, and they nod their head and smile, and they'll walk off. City watch kind of stroll by, but other than that, you just see life happening.
Do I need to mark some turns off of my flask of oil?
Off of your oil?
Yeah, what I put in my lantern.
1.
That's it?
Yeah. All right.
I think we should...
So it is now 1 p.m.
Is Meinhof still out there?
Yeah, you see him every once in a while kind of wandering
I
around.
kind of want to ask him about this weird grief death cult. He's heard of it. Although, I have a feeling something like that is probably... They don't hang up a shingle or anything. What do you think?
Okay. So you do see him kind of tending to some things like that.
Okay, if he's alone, or
Yep.
I'll wait until he's alone and I'll walk up to him.
Ah, back I see.
A little empty-handed, unfortunately. We tracked them for a ways. I won't burden you with the details. But
Oh, you actually started the investigation.
there was a trail left.
A trail, remarkable. We looked and didn't find anything, but are you with him?
Mm-hmm.
Must be the ranger.
So, bear in mind this is the, drunken hearsay, but have you heard of some kind of church that follows some sort of goddess of grief and death? Something like Niftis or Niftis or...
You're speaking of Nepsis.
Nephsis?
Yes.
Do you know where this place is? Like underground?
I've been hearing for the past 6 months this started. And I can't tell if it's just drunks and whores' way of explaining why people go missing or why livestock goes missing. I don't know of a church that's doing that. I do know that there are notices of missing people that are in the keep whenever we put notices up on the wall. I think there's a girl that's missing. But again, we don't know if she just ran off with someone or not. I've certainly never seen anyone running around actively, openly worshipping Nephthys.
Well, no, I wouldn't think.
It's an old goddess, anyway. It comes from across the ocean.
Well, the 10 sums may venerate her. Should explain why they portrayed such evil.
These are the ramblings of a drunkard. Well, one might be able to find some information speaking with the lower class people of the area.
They hear things.
They mostly come out at night. I'm surprised that you found a drunkard during the day. They usually sleep or pass out. It might be a good idea to ask around in those seedier parts of town. But other than that, it all is legend to me.
Okay.
So I wonder if we should head back, take a little afternoon nap, and then maybe head back out towards nightfall
To go back to the bar. Maybe. I'd like to actually see Are we still there with mine off? Or...
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll go. You know, I will leave you about your business and
All right. He turns around
see
and
what we
walks
can
off.
find. No, so maybe if there are notices about missing people, I'd like to see if there's some kind of connection there. If they all went missing in a similar area or under similar circumstances, similar times of day. But yeah, I think it would be worth at least maybe if we don't go in, you know, banking on not word of our presence there not having spread. At least take a look at the place when it's open on the outside.
That's the plan. To go back.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the keep. He mentioned the posters being up in the keep, right? So I'd like to go back to the keep and look around.
Yeah.
Maybe when we go to the gate, I'll ask those two guys like that. I heard there's people who've gone missing, even a young girl.
Okay. You make your way back over to the gate. There is the same guard at the gate.
Is it the same two guys or?
No, you haven't seen them since the
seen those?
first
Okay.
night
All right.
or the first evening.
Yeah. Different shift.
He recognized you. He says, "Oh, I hope that everything was successful for you."
Yeah, it was fine.
All right. Well,
And I'll say, we heard a disturbing rumor from one of the merchants in the bazaar about people have been going missing, even a young girl recently.
Darren Kelton is a troubled place, and you know, I see notices up of people missing. Even down in Darren Kelton, there are notices of animals missing and children missing, teenagers mostly. You're free to check out the notices on the wall, but people seem to disappear there a lot.
Well, we'll take a look. It's disturbing.
It is. So he opens the gate up,
Okay.
let you guys in, and keep activity. So you have the carts and people going about their business.
Okay. As we go back, I'll be on the lookout for any posters.
So like before, when you're going through that first section, you see the notices that have like the symbol of the other houses.
Mm-hmm.
You see wanted for the crime of, stealing livestock, of rape, of whatever, these different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of towards where you go to make the turn, through that secondary kind of gate where the bride of Molo had went through, you see a missing notice with a rough sketch of a teenage girl, and she was last seen 2 weeks prior. Her name's Caitlin Brehound, and she's the daughter of a well-off merchant.
Does it say the name? It's just Brehound family or whatever, but does it say the name of the merchant?
Tunis Brehound
Yes.
is the name that says with any news or anything, like any information, contact Tunis Brehound.
Okay. All right.
And oddly enough, there is a notice that is nearby that is the symbol of the Ivory Scimitar. The only one that you've seen.
What do you
You
mean?
must be developing a fan base.
A notice. What do you mean?
Well, a poster.
Oh, like someone
Like
put
a
up a poster?
banner, I guess,
Oh,
or,
okay.
like a pennant,
A pennant?
pin it
Okay.
kind of a thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Heading back
I
to
guess we're going back to the house.
the house.
Does it have a library? I don't know if I noticed that.
I'm sure it does.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're making your way past the labyrinth's face,
Mm-hmm.
there's a crowd of people there again. And this time you look over and all of the other banner companies have their banner inside that doorway.
Wow.
All but House Aldenmere.
Right.
And the people are sitting there and they're eating their
I wonder if it's because it's a holiday.
meat kebab, whatever. Just watching intently at the pink membrane.
And what time is it now?
2 in the afternoon.
Can I ask somebody how long that they've been down there?
You find someone close to you, and they say, "Well, they've come in and out at different times." And then he notices you're from Aldenmere. It's like, "Oh, you're new." Aldenmere had been on its deathbed until recently. I bet you're wondering whether it'd be safe for you to go down in there with all of them.
Possibly.
Well, the thing to remember is you guys are fairly new. Most of the other houses have made ways into the other levels of the labyrinth. So, more than likely, there's not going to be anybody on the first level. They've already gone past that. In fact, I know that Fabrace has made it to level 5. Then they just kind of wander off. So you make it back to the house, and you go inside. Travers is there, asks how your day has gone so far.
Relatively fruitless.
Ah,
There's a library here in the house.
there's a study. There's some books. Yes.
Anything like historical?
A few things. Yeah.
Anything religious?
Well, you see, the master, when the scimitars were first founded, he was part of the party that went down in there. He did look up, history on older religions because of some of the things he saw down there. So there could be some books that are,
Is it okay for me to look at those?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll find
We
out
we
before-
do have some food in the house,
Oh.
too.
Well, avail myself of that first.
Yeah.
So I'll eat something and I'll find out where the library is, where the study.
Okay. Yeah, so you make your way into the room, and it's small. It's probably about the size of the living room here. And there's like one wall that has shelves, and there's a bunch of books there, but that's about it. And there's a table with a chair. What are you up to?
I think I'm gonna go
Can I-
to my
Can I move?
quarters
Can I
to
move, please?
rest.
Is there a book you're looking for in particular
I'm looking for anything on that religion.
on that religion?
Mhm.
Okay. Intelligence.
Constitution? Roll my
Intelligence.
intelligence? Like how so?
3d6.
4, 10. Mine's an 11.
Okay. After about half an hour, you have pored over the different history books, and some of it vaguely talks about the culture that was here before. Mostly stuff that you had heard from the merchants, and it kind of figured out or had guesses of by seeing the artwork and stuff like that. There is one reference to there's an island that you can reach off the corner of this continent, and it was past the Usherwood Peninsula. You go out, and there is this land where the original people of this area came from, and where they supposedly returned after they left. And over there was a section that had worshippers of dark entities, and one of them was Nephthys. And she is a goddess of death and grief. And oddly enough, though, She is not a chaotic deity. Or I'm sorry, she is chaotic good.
Oh, not an evil deity.
Not an evil deity is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Her symbol is horns on a lunar disc.
Okay.
The rest of it is sort of like mythology, where she came from as far as her parents, if you want to call it that. You know, typical stuff. You know, child's born, child turns on the parents, consumes them, becomes the goddess.
Right. The usual story.
Usual story.
Okay. Any talk of like the practices of the religion? Like, are there times a day they have their services? Is there certain calendar days that are special?
There is some talk about it, not solid information.
Nothing about sacrificing people and animals, or
No, oddly enough, they do talk about debauchery,
like bacchanals or orgies, or
orgies. It's like she's a physical manifestation of the process of grief through the death of a loved one, but her take on it and the take of the religion is that you grieve, you accept the death, and then you live, you know, because the person you're grieving for is can no longer do it. You do suspect, though, I mean, from what you're reading, that a group of thieves would really have no reason to be worshiping Nephthys.
Yeah. Especially ones that go around cutting people's throats and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Once I'm done with that, you know, I want to talk to Travers.
Okay. He's in the kitchen. He has some strips of meat that he's prepared over fire and has them on a platter. And not much, but some there, some potatoes, things like that. So I hope you found what you were looking for.
I think so. Decent library.
It is quite interesting what he was able to find once he started looking, once he started seeing things down there.
So, is there a vineyard nearby, like outside of town, or?
Yeah, there. You know, as you come in and you see the windmill, out that way are a lot of the fields where they have sheep and they have wheat, and over close towards the water is, they use it for irrigation for the crops. There is a vineyard there.
Do you know what it's called, or is it?
It's older than before I showed up here. I'm not even sure that there's a chapel that's there or was there. But
Chapel.
Well, we think it is. We think it's a chapel. This land is strange because, as you've seen, you went into that temple. But there's also ancient chapels. It's like an entire culture of people would live here and then they'd move on or go extinct, and then another culture of people would go on top of them.
Mm.
So you've rested and you're able to get your health point back. So you should be back at full.
Okay.
It's now 3 p.m.
So I'm gonna head down into the kitchen.
Yeah, and they're sitting there. Travers comes in and out.
So he leaves the vineyard?
He leaves. Yeah.
Do we have a plan?
I'd like to go look at the vineyard, maybe in the evening. It's just outside of town, and apparently there's an old chapel there. The only other thing I found is that this Nephthys really, it doesn't align with, the teachings don't align with anything that would appeal to these cutthroats.
Interesting.
So it could be someone using the trappings of the religion to some end, or maybe they simply there's an old chapel there to Nephthys, and then it's just where they lair. It's just coincidental. Yeah, because there doesn't appear to be anything about them sacrificing people or animals or anything like that. So, again, it's all in the word of a drunk.
You're heading out.
Yeah, when it gets close to, well, yeah, maybe in an hour or so.
Okay.
So we get there maybe when it's dark. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there.
If you talk to Travers about it, I'm assuming you do.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of draws a rough map of the area, Darren Kelton and all that.
Okay.
And he points that kind of just behind the windmill. It's not on this map. There, he shows that there's a vineyard there. And then there's some ruins that he's like, this is where the old chapel was.
So there's the windmill there.
The windmill. So it's off the map.
Okay.
But, and he points, this is where the chapel was. I guess it did become a farmhouse at some point. And there's foundations that are around the area. Some of it you can see like underneath where the vineyard's growing. So it's like there was a part of town there that just went into ruin. And there is a tavern there that the sign says something like the Proud Baroness or something like that.
The Proud Baroness. Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to wait until you're going to leave in an hour and then head that way. So you get there by when it's dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Hour has passed.
Okay. I guess just my regular. Yeah, just take my regular equipment. Nothing special.
All right.
I put those extra. I'll leave. I bought extra iron spikes from that guy, for Meinhof. So I just leave those behind. I already have some in my pack, so I just got another set of them.
Okay. Anything you're bringing or
I'm bringing all my
any preparations, I should say.
everything.
Okay. So you make your way out of the house, through the keep. And at this point, you turn through that secondary gate and you're heading back down to the exit gate.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, the crowd, you kind of hear this commotion. And there's cheering and clapping. And there's this man who is 6'4", from your guess, which is super tall compared to everyone else around here.
Mm-hmm.
Big, burly man with a long beard. And
Go out.
leather armor on it. Bethrina recognizes the armor and the manner of this person as a fellow ranger. So as you're walking out, not too far off, you hear people, "Oh, where were you this time?" And he's like, "I was in the wild woods, and then I went by White Dragon Run, and there's lots going on there." And he has this hearty laugh and as it's going on as you're passing by.
Okay.
You make it to the front gate. They ask what.
Is it the same guards?
This time it is the two that you saw the first night. I go, "Well, looky here. Got some ivory scimitars now. So what are you folks up to tonight?"
Well,
Taking a stroll.
yeah, maybe a meat pie and a tankard of ale.
"Meat pie and a tankard of ale." And the skinny one's like, "Meat pie and a tankard of ale." And he goes,
Want us to bring anything back for you?
and he gets this look on his face. "You all watch your step. Not very many people are very forgiving in this keep. Where'd you say you were going again this evening?"
Can you suggest an inn?
"Get out of here."
All right.
And they open the door and let you through. So as you travel down that way, the bazaar is pretty much cleared out at this point, and now there's, laughing and joking and young men chasing young ladies, laughing and giggling, getting ready for an evening of drinking and fun. But otherwise, no one pays you too much mind. You make your way down. It takes about 3 hours to make your way down through the city. If you're going cautiously and keeping an eye out for anything, going through the wheat field, past the windmill, and you eventually come upon this vineyard, but all of the grapevines are dried and dead with raisins on them. And there's this structure that is burnt out. There's no top to it, but I guess you could figure that there was a steeple in one spot. Some of the rubble and rocks are off to the side.
Are these old ruins or recent ruins?
These ruins don't look as old as the temple stuff that you've seen, but they're still old. But they look from a different era. And then off to the right, you do see like the makings of an old road that was there with stone that's broken and missing chunks. Or you suspect that people took those to go and build huts with and things like that. It looks like an area of town that was destroyed, and then over the years, pieces have been taken out to rebuild other parts. You see foundations, you see it underneath where the vines are. And off to the right, you do see this building that has this old sign. Some of the letters are off, so the wood's a different color, that says the Proud Baroness.
What do you make of that? Are we on a road that goes out here, or are we just?
It's more like a
going across
trail
the fields,
now,
like...
but there was a road.
Does it look like people have been here recently? Or that it is well-traveled trail?
What is your tracking?
Well, for outdoors, it's 90%.
Is it 90? Yeah, I was 90%.
90.
In the tall weeds and grass and the dirt that has covered some of this cobblestone kind of road, you are picking up footprints. And they're heading off towards the Proud Baroness.
Do they look like there's footprints that I recognize, like from the one I was tracking earlier?
They do.
Good.
So you see her look down and start zeroing in.
So I'm going to tell him that these appear to be the same footprints that I was following earlier.
Oh, okay then. I might owe that bum another gold piece. Actually, probably best if I got him cleaned up and got him off the sauce. But anyway.
So I'd like to follow
All right.
the prints.
Yeah, you find it, lose it, and then finally it ends, but it's so close to the Proud Baroness that, that's the direction that they were heading.
Do we see lights?
No lights.
What kind? So it's just it's just a ruin.
It's
Or
the
it's
taverns.
something that's been...
You can tell that some of the roof has caved in, so it's not solid. The walls are there, but there's chunks missing out of the wall, and some of it is caved in and stuff. But the door is intact. The windows are long gone. There's frame there and bits of broken glass, but
Any noise? Do you hear anything?
you just hear the sounds of the wheat blowing in the wind, and there is a slight breeze going through some of there's some trees, and you kind of hear that shh, kind of
Yeah.
nothing unusual.
Can I, as stealthily as possible, kind of go around the building and
All right, so how are you doing that?
light step and going over around the right side?
Okay. Are you close to the wall at all?
Mm-hmm.
So you feel the heat off the stone from being in the sun. You head around that right side, and there's a large chunk of the wall that's broken away, so you can look inside, and you see some smashed tables. There's a molded, rotted wooden bar that's collapsed in on itself. Towards the back, there is a cellar door.
That's what I was just going to ask. Does it look like maybe the cellar door is used? Like,
You wouldn't be able to tell from this distance. It looks as weathered and worn as the front door.
are there any tracks back here?
Where you're walking, there are no tracks where you're walking.
Can I go around to where the cellar door is?
So you go around back of the building, and you see that the back side of it and the roof on the back side of it is still intact.
Can I walk all the way around the building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of dead shrubs. What are you doing to?
I'm just staying put. I don't want to harsh or play or whatever you call it.
Okay.
And, I'm just keeping an eye out. And I'll, like, I don't know how close the tall grass and stuff gets to the building, but I'll just kind of be crouched, waiting.
All right. In your way around, you do see remnants of activity when this thing was new, perhaps. I mean, there are bits of broken bottle in the dirt. Been there a while. Lots of weeds. Nothing out of the unusual back there or around the other side. So.
I come back and tell him what I saw.
Okay. So they are layering new joint underground, but there's no tracks inside. It seems strange.
Well, she couldn't see inside.
Couldn't see inside enough to see if there's something.
No. There's no tracks where she was walking.
Alright. Well, we should probably go over the wall somewhere, maybe, if there's a broken part, like check for any kind of trap or alarm when we do it. And then, I wish we knew how many tin sums there were. It might be a bit much for us.
Do you think we should
She's lying out there.
hide out for a little bit, because to see if maybe they
Well, just
get here?
do this as a scouting thing. Yeah, actually, I mean, depending upon, we could set up for the night. If they do all their deeds during the day, then they may sleep during the night and leave early morning. We could see them go.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we use this as a scouting
Okay.
mission, and
I wonder if there's any other. Maybe we could cautiously. We don't because we're leaving tracks too. We don't leave tracks everywhere. But maybe see if there's another way out of there. Because the other solution is to trap them in their own little hidey hole. Maybe.
It's all up to you guys.
Yeah. So we should look around for another exit or entrance, like another trap door or whatever. Chances are they're just using whatever existing basement or catacomb or whatever. If it was a chapel, it might have had a catacomb beneath it, and they're probably just using that. And there's probably no other way out of there. So, but just to be sure, that's what I suggest.
okay. Let's do that.
What do you like to do?
Just start making a circle around. If we're assuming this building's the center, just around, and then maybe a slightly wider one. Just see if we see anything weird. Like even an old chimney coming up out of the ground, anything like that. That might be another entrance or whatever. Just cautiously. More quietly than anything else. Yeah. Or vent. Yeah, exactly.
This will take around 30 minutes.
Okay.
To make your way around the grounds.
Yeah.
As you're walking around and you're trying to prevent leaving tracks, so like that, it is getting darker. It's now 8:40.
Okay.
So it's pretty much well dark at this point, time of year, stuff like that.
It's all in the wilderness guide.
It's all in the wilderness guide. I should look.
Yeah, you just got to pick the latitude and the time of year.
Yeah. Looks like if you head over by where the chapel or the farmhouse or whatever you want to call it, whatever it became, you do see that it probably was a chapel. And it appears completely unrelated to this tavern ruin. So you don't see any kind of connection. You don't see any chimneys coming up. You find more broken bottles. You do see a wagon wheel that's really almost completely covered by the rock and weeds and things. One of you roll a d6.
Go ahead.
6.
Okay. So as you're doing that, obvious to both of you, you look and you catch glimpse of a little lantern heading this direction. And the lantern's like, well, the light source, I guess you could say, but you're assuming it's a lantern, is like kind of like doing this as it's getting closer.
Okay. Well, like you have infravision, right? So, which is bigger outdoors than it is.
Yeah, it is.
So I probably see like just.
Does that automatically come on when it gets dark, or does she have to choose to?
I think it's just automatic.
Because I think it takes a segment to come on. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you totally would probably do that as a ranger anyway. Because you weren't using you guys weren't near each other, and you weren't
probably
using
not.
a lantern.
We were probably like 10 to 20 feet apart, and we were trying to like just do like a search pattern.
So you probably had a lantern then?
Probably had my bullseye out and just pointed at the ground.
So both of you see this coming, and you take the shut the lantern off. Yeah. You of course, with your infravision, you see a hot figure, humanoid looking, and it's like coming at you, coming out the road, and it's doing this kind of stuff. And now you're kind of starting to hear noises like giggling or kind of choking or whatever, coughing and stuff like that.
Is there a place that I can take cover from where I'm at?
Yeah. I'm sure there's some weeds that are tall. There's some ruins, walls that are broken there.
Okay, so I'm going to take cover, try to be silent, and just keep an eye on this person who appears to be drunk.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
All right. Soon enough, yeah, you make out that you hear giggling and kind of murmuring and stuff, and you see that he has a bluish tint of a bottle in his hand, and he's doing this in it, so you're assuming it's a cooler liquid. So yeah, you're taking it that he's drinking. And he kind of sways off, heads towards the, what was that place called again? The Baroness, the Proud Baroness. Come up to the door, and you see him kind of do this, and then the klunk opens up, and he goes in, closes the door. You hear him trip over some stuff and curse, kicking a bottle off to the side.
He's just going inside like the walls, you mean?
Inside yeah. And then you hear another klunk and a close. And then there's silence.
Interesting. I'll go ahead and approach. If I can see where Betharina is, I'll approach.
Okay.
I said, do you want to look at his tracks to see if they match the ones we've been following?
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
You gonna do that? With the bullseye, you're gonna light the bullseye then?
Sure.
Or I guess with infravision, 2 minutes, you can still see footprints, but I don't know if you can see the foot tracks.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Is it pitch dark now?
There's no moon, so it's dark. But with your infravision, and then he uses bullseye lantern, those tracks match. Perfect match, even down to the tear that's in the sole that you were able to track while you were in town.
But it's only one.
Yeah. Well, maybe he spent the evening getting drunk in town, and now he's coming back to sleep it off. It's just maybe one of the 10 sons. Well, I think there's only one way in to whatever that is down there. So either regardless, I think we should just wait till morning and see. But I think you should build us some kind of a blind to camp out in.
I agree.
Okay. So then you're going to look for a place to set up a blind and all of that?
And then we'll take watch.
Yeah, we take watches when we trade on.
All right. And so the plan is to wait until morning then?
To
keep watch all night. Yeah, but I mean the idea, the assumption is these guys will, or guy or whatever, will leave in the morning.
Okay. So who's taking the first watch?
I'll take the first because it's probably a little bit lighter. Well, what is the moon at?
No moon.
No moon?
Tonight.
Oh, shit.
No moon at all.
No moon at all tonight.
And there's no lights. Well, but they're humans, so they would need lights, presumably, if they came out. So I guess I'll take the first watch. I think it's the safest. Yeah, I'll take the first watch.
Okay. And then, halfway through the night, as you're taking watch, the only noise you hear is the chittering of bats. And there comes a point where a swarm of bats fly out through the trees and they kind of come over to where you're at. And
Attack me?
well, what do? There's a whole swarm of them kind of sweeping down in your area.
How far away are they?
They're flying, so they're, like 12 feet above you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. But so what is our blind like? Like, what is it? What do we have?
What is it? What does it look like?
Is it covered? Like,
Covered
oh.
stick debris lean-to.
Okay. No fire going, none of that. You're just in the dark.
No.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So, it's true. So, yeah, you hear them, and it's, I don't know if they're attracted to, if they're pinging off you or something. Something there is attracting them. Bugs that may be attracted to you, mites, mosquitoes, whatever.
I guess my first thing I would do would be to shake Bethrina awake. Be the first thing I would do, just in case things go south.
Okay.
Okay. So
Aw.
I am awake. Can I look around using my infravision?
Yeah, like he said, you look up and you see all these little orange and red things that look like fireflies, but they're like the size of a bat. They're a bat. And there's quite a few of them, and they sweep down, and some of them could kind of go under the blind and then kind of flutter back out.
I don't know how to drive them off without making a racket.
Can I just use my flint and steel to make flashes and see if that will get them to leave?
Sure. So you put your hand up and do that. So that you see sparks, and you kind of see the shadows hit the lean-to. And as you're doing it, I mean, some will come in and you'll do that and they'll skitter away. After about 5 minutes, you're able, it upsets them. They don't like hearing it. They don't like the flash. And eventually they do kind of dissipate and move on to other things. If anything, maybe the flash is messing with the mosquitoes or whatever it is that's flying around you that's attracting them. But after about 5 minutes, then they do disperse. So other than that, not getting your complete sleep, but not enough to really bother you. Your half of the watch is uneventful. And dawn comes, and as you wait, eventually around, you figure 8 or 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. or so, you hear that clunking noise from inside and some steps and creaking of the wood. And then the other door's forced open, and a couple of guys come out in kind of browns and leathers and start making their way down the road towards Kelton with their backpack on, their gear.
How many guys?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
So I think we let them walk.
Get out of the area.
Yeah.
Okay. It takes about 10 minutes for them to be far enough away where they're not going to hear you or see you. They're heading that way.
Right.
And it's quiet.
Maybe we can go inside. I mean, I don't know if you could tell how many different tracks might be coming in and out of that place. And then we can proceed from there if we want to go inside.
Can I look at the tracks?
Yeah.
Is one set of those tracks the same as the night before?
Yeah.
Anything of note about the other set of tracks?
No. The tracks look rough, like the soles of the shoes are rough. Not a quality boot, but not as in bad shape as the track that you'd been following the day before. And you're there with her doing that too.
Yeah, we both go down. Okay. Yeah, let's check this out.
All right. You're at the front door of the Proud Baroness.
Okay. Well, if a drunk guy can come in and out of here, it's probably not trapped, but let's check it out, I guess.
Okay.
So, does it push open, pull open?
It pulls open.
I'll pull it open.
It is swollen and stuck.
Yeah.
Clunk, and then it comes open,
Okay.
and you see the inside.
I just want to look around, look at the ground, see if there's anything.
There's webs and some spiders and things like that, but
Alright. Nothing weird. Okay, I'll go inside and close it behind us.
okay. It looks like an unremarkable ancient tavern.
Okay.
Described as she saw it, with the collapsed bar and the tables turned over and broke and everything rotted. The wood's rotted. Any of the stone wall, there's some of it crashed down inside. And then back towards the back, you see a similar door to the front door, closed.
Okay. And then the trap door was on the other side of that?
There is no trap door.
Oh.
Cellar door?
The cellar door.
Okay,
I should
that's
say.
I misunderstood. Okay. Okay. So, alright, we'll go look at the other door, I guess.
All right. It's, worn and rotted. It looks swollen too.
Trouble with that too. I'll open it.
Okay. Roll a d6.
D6? Yeah. 5.
Okay. Struggle with this. It's the hinges are rusted and it's swollen, and eventually you hear a crack, like it kind of one of the braces kind of cracks a little bit, and it clunk and it opens up. If you guys will move all of that stuff there. Hope this will fit.
Watch.
Mapper
don't want to be, but it's closer to me.
Okay. So you open the door and you see a set of stone steps. And they go down the hallway, you know, the hall where the steps are going down is 10 feet wide. And
these 5-foot squares? Or?
Those are 5-foot squares. So it's 10 feet wide, and it goes, the steps you see go down 10 feet.
So is that this that you drew?
No,
That's the door.
Okay.
And then this would be...
So like this?
yeah, and then
It's 10,
it's 10 feet.
wide. So 2 squares wide, 2 squares long upstairs.
Yeah. And it's dark in there.
2,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, 2.
Oh, 2?
Yeah, 2 by
Yeah.
2, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll get out my lantern again and light it.
Okay. Are you guys proceeding down the steps?
Yeah.
All right. So you go down that 10 feet, and then it continues 10 feet more, and there's a wall heading this way. It's
So
good practice.
More stairs?
Nope, it's a landing.
Okay.
Goes across like that.
I'm confused.
So this wall continues 10 feet.
And then
There's a
10
wall
more
heading
feet.
that way.
And that's it.
Yeah, and there's a landing there.
So it basically continues around the corner there. Okay.
So like this?
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
So we'll go down to the landing and look around the corner.
Okay. So as you do, there is another set of steps in the darkness that is 20 feet down.
Oh, so okay.
So 1,
Continuing
2, 3,
on.
4.
10 feet wide and 20 feet.
Yep.
Yep. And then the wall continues down. You see those going into darkness.
Is there like any sconces or torch bracket stuff or no? So they just carry their lanterns with them. Okay, we'll continue.
All right. So at the end of those steps is another landing,
Yeah.
10 feet wide, that goes 10 feet to a wall, continuing down.
Goes
that
this
way.
way. All right. Jesus. Okay. We'll look around that corner.
Okay. Finally, there is another 10-foot wide corridor, 20 feet of steps leading down.
So another.
Wow. This is how steep are these steps?
Fairly steep.
Fairly steep. Okay. This is kind of upsetting.
And into darkness. So
Okay. All right. Well, I'm shining my lantern down there. So
shine light. There is a door there.
it stops in a door.
Yep.
One big door or
One door right in the center of
in the
the...
center of it? Okay. We will approach it.
A wooden door with a round top.
Okay. Does this one look like it's swollen too?
It does not.
Can we hear anything at the door?
Let's see. You hear footsteps.
Footsteps.
Footsteps. You hear kind of like a walking, what you're thinking past the door, and then fades away. You don't hear anything.
I almost think we go back out and see if we can follow the 2 guys who left.
We'd have to hustle to catch him.
I can track.
Yeah. They left at just a walking pace. Yeah. Yeah, we could probably catch him.
What would you like to do? Because
I know that's a wiser move, I think. And, you know, if we can.
we don't
if
know
we can
how many.
If we can take them alive, then we know they're up to no good. So, yeah.
So you guys gonna make your way back up?
And if we don't capture them, We could always come back and try and ambush them on their way back here, since we know where their hideout is.
All right. So you guys are retreating back. Tactical retreat.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Making your way back out and out of the
and
tavern.
Out of the area. We're trying to pick up the tracks of those guys.
Okay. So now you're outside. It's around 10 a.m.
Okay.
And so you don't see any sign of anybody or anything.
So let's follow the tracks.
Okay. You pick up on the track. You're familiar with the track now. You recognize the tread or the stitching. And so now, what's the intent here? Are you trying to catch up with them, or are you just trying to follow them, or?
I think catch up with them and perhaps...
It depends upon where and when we catch up with them, but yeah, our intent is to subdue them, to take them out, maybe kill one and capture another. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Which I'm sure we're discussing as we go. But yeah, I mean, I suppose it depends. If we don't catch up with them in time, and well, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Like, 'cause we don't know what their daily routine is. Whether they steal stuff and go fence it or hide it somewhere, or like, because if they come back out and they're laden with stuff, then they're going to be slower, maybe. So.
Okay. Following at a brisk pace, following the tracks, you see that it's weaving in and out of weeds and bits of forest. A little slow going at times. You lose the track sometimes and then pick it back up. After about 30 minutes, you can see up ahead the two guys they're probably reaching, I would say 90 feet from the windmill.
Okay.
There they are. Their backs are turned to you. So they're 90 feet from the windmill. And how close do you dare to get?
Do we run them down and fight them? What's the play here? What's our rules of engagement? I mean, I think my guy, like lawful neutral, I think he would probably be like, well, before they do any more harm or steal any more goods from innocent people, I think we should. And before they get inside the town.
I am thinking if we can get close enough for me to use my bow and maybe put an arrow in a tree right by them, like above their
Oh, you
head.
want to try and intimidate them?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought put an arrow in one of them.
Do I want to aim for a leg, or do I want to intimidate them by...
Oh, yeah, crippling. Be fine.
Okay, so my range is 50 feet.
Okay.
So I want to...
So we're on this kind of half-ass trail, right? And is it tall grasses around
There's
us?
waist-high grass.
Okay.
You're coming out from kind of a small grove. Off to the left, you see that wheat field that you saw when you first came to town, and then the windmill is right over there.
I'm gonna doff my backpack and lay it in the tall grass, so I'm a bit faster. So I'll just have my heavy warhammer and leave my shield and my backpack and stuff in the grass.
Okay, that's kind of a good idea. I'll take off my backpack and just have my arrows and my sword.
That should speed me up to 90 instead of... Because I only move 60 because of my encumbrance.
Okay.
So I'm doffing my backpack, leaving all my crap there.
Okay.
Because I'd like to get... And that would make us maybe a little bit quieter
Potentially.
too.
I mean...
Because I'd
I'm
like
still
to,
in
as soon as I'm within range, I will try to put an arrow in probably the thigh of
Okay.
one of them.
All right. So that's the plan. You're gonna sneakily get up as close as you're gonna try to shoot an arrow into one of their thighs. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have surprise. Were you surprised on a 1 through 4?
I have
It surprises people.
Surprises
on a 1 through 4,
people on a 1 through 4.
Something like that.
1 through 3.
1 through 3? Okay. From taking off your gear and doing all that, I'm going to make it where you surprise them on a 1 through 4. They're going to become a... Well, they don't even get a surprise roll, actually. They don't know you're there. So, go ahead and make a D6.
4.
So, 4 segments. They're not going to be able to react to anything you're doing. So, you are sneaking up
Okay.
crazy
Yeah.
because of that.
How close are they to each other? Like within 10 feet of each other?
Yeah, they're in 5 feet of each other. They're talking to each other
okay.
and conversing.
Okay. I guess, yeah, I mean, that much time, I don't know. Like, my intention was I wanted to come around and rush one of them, like charge or whatever, but I don't want to spoil her shots. So, if it's going to be that...
So,
fast.
you have rate of fire too, so you're going to be able to fire before anything happens, and then fire at the end of it, right? So...
Well, I thought we had... I don't know. Do we have that many segments of actions? Because we got surprised?
anything that... Oh, yeah, it's only one thing. I think it says something about that. I'm going to rule that you can.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I would have to look at it again, but I don't know.
Yeah. So she could fire and you still be able to rush one and not spoil her shot.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just hold off, a segment or two. Whatever it would be.
You guys have plenty of opportunity on your side. So.
Right.
Do you have a short bow or a long bow?
Short bow.
Well, yeah, it says actions that would normally happen over the course of a round may be completed in one surprise segment. And if you have multiple surprises, that's why it's so fucking dangerous.
So yeah, you're going to be able to fire twice every fucking surprise segment.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I guess I'll wait. I mean, I don't know if I have to declare, but maybe wait like 2 segments before I start moving up there, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and you're surprised. You're attacking from behind.
Oh, that's true.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's a huge... Well, because they don't know what the fuck's going to happen. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. And I take it you've moved to where you're within optimal range, so that
Yes.
won't modify anything. Okay, so yeah, you'll make 2 attacks.
Okay.
Make one first, and then...
Remind me how I do that.
D20 plus your... well, I don't know if you have it written down next to the thing. Normally it'd be your dexterity bonus. I don't think you have
I
one
don't
though,
have
right?
one.
So it'll just be a D20 versus their armor class.
16.
Okay, you hit with the first arrow.
Do I roll damage?
Yep.
6.
Okay. You fire one arrow, fladunk, into his thigh, wah, and the other guy goes, and he's doing this, and then she'll get to fire again. You get to fire again.
Yeah. Oh, ROF too, so yeah, I mean, this is still one segment.
1.
Alright, well, that misses.
Okay, so that one flies in between them, misses. So then, now you...
I was going to give her 2 segments. We have 4 segments,
You have
right?
4 segments.
I was going to give her 2 segments before I acted.
Oh, okay.
I was going to act on the 3rd segment.
Oh, okay.
So can I aim at the other guy?
Uh-huh.
7.
Okay, roll for damage.
Really? A 7?
1.
Oh, because all the bonuses. Yeah, it's because of all the bonuses.
Yeah.
And again?
Yep.
19.
Yeah, that hurts.
Okay.
4.
Okay. At the
Second guy.
second guy.
First guy's got 6, 1 arrow for 6, and then 2 arrows for 1 and 5. Okay. And Yeah, I guess you would act. Third segment, you would act again because you fire. Because ROF1, you would fire, and then I would charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Who you hitting now?
yeah, which one are you targeting?
I'm gonna aim for the first guy again, but for his shoulder.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
2.
All right. So that arrow goes in through his shoulder this way and comes in this way. He's like, "Wah!" And he goes down on the ground in the weeds. And the other guy is like, "Ah!" And he's trying to run, trying to get away.
So I'm gonna charge him and try and do subdual damage. So is subdual damage just like I'm punching him, or am I hitting him with?
Your intent's not to kill him. So
My
whatever you're
intent's not to kill
doing,
him.
you can't
But
do it with bladed weapons and stuff like that.
But I can
But
pop
you
him
can-
with my the pommel of my worm,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Okay, that's neat. Yeah, so I just do it like normal.
Yep.
So I'll charge him. I get
Okay.
+2 for charging.
So you get attacking from behind or an unseen
+2,
foe
yeah, +2 to hit for charge as well.
with surprise. Okay, and then +2 for charging. Okay, and then what weapon are you hitting with?
Heavy warhammer.
Is that the? Or did we determine? Is it the Lucerne thing that we decided?
Yeah,
to go with?
Lucerne hammer's a 2-handed.
Okay. What'd you roll?
A 7.
And you got him.
Okay. So D6 +2, 6.
6. So where do you hit him?
Well, I'll probably try and bonk him on the back of the head, I guess. Like, I'm trying to knock
Okay.
him out.
He's out.
So, okay. Perfect. And the other guy's just, like, down.
The other guy's down,
Okay.
and so are you guys coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, like, if the other
So-
guy... If I look at the other guy and he's not, like, out, I was going to try and...
He is pale and losing a lot of blood.
Okay. So, okay. Let's, drag him off the side of the trail.
Okay. Let me write something down here first. You drag him off the road, or off the. It's not really a road, but whatever.
Yeah,
is
off the
there.
trail. Into the tall grass. We're dragging into the tall grass.
That one you hit with the arrow in the shoulders, breathing hard, kind of raspy. From what you're seeing, it looks like the arrow came in at an angle, and so it may have punctured a lung or done something.
Does he have any clothes that I could, like, bind it to stop
Yeah.
the bleeding? That rip
They're
and-
wearing like leather and stuff like that, so you could tear some off and bind it if you want
Okay.
So I do that.
Okay.
to.
While she's doing that, the unconscious guy, I'm gonna just check him out. Empty out his backpack, see what he's carrying.
Okay. He is carrying. He has like a dagger, a knife in his backpack. He's using the backpack probably to like throw stolen goods into.
Mainly empty.
He has 5 gold pieces.
Oh, okay,
He's got it.
I'll grab the 5 gold pieces. So what's in his backpack? Just dagger and...
There's a dagger and then it's empty, so you're
that's
figuring
it?
it's
Okay.
just so he can stuff stuff in it.
I'll take the dagger as well. What's my pencil? It's probably under the map. Yeah.
Yeah, man. With those, so this is smart play here, right? The way you guys played it and planned it out, you were hitting those dudes on 7s. So
Yeah.
like you took their AC down from like 13 or whatever it was to 7s.
Yeah.
Where
I left all my crap behind, so it's laying back in the field. Does he have a belt on?
yeah, he's got
Okay,
a belt.
I'll take the belt and I'll tie his legs together with the belt,
Okay.
and then I'll take the straps off of his, like with the dagger, cut him off of his backpack, and I'll tie his hands behind his back.
All right. What are you doing?
Well, I want to basically ask him, what he thinks he's doing.
Me?
No, the
Oh.
guy.
The guy who's
With the arrow.
the guy who's just actually conscious.
Yeah.
And he kind of spits a little bit of blood out of his mouth, and he looks up and he's like, "It looks like I'm dying." You got us good.
Out ambush the ambushers. I roll the other guy over so he doesn't suffocate.
His nose is broken from falling face first on the ground. So he's bleeding out of his nose, but he's still out.
So I'm gonna tell him. Well, you're not dying yet.
Ah. You see his eyes kind of get a little big. Because they both look like kind of wormy guys anyway. They try to act tough, but you saying that to him, he kind of got this look on his face. What do you want?
I want to know what you're doing with all the stuff you're taking from the people.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not taking anything.
Where are you off to today?
Oh, what does that matter? We're heading back to town, obviously.
Going back to the marketplace already?
Well, guys gotta eat.
You have a fence in town?
I don't know who you think I am. I'm just a guy just trying to find something to eat.
Well, then tell me who you are.
What are you gonna do if I don't?
I'm gonna move the arrow in his shoulder.
He screams. I mean, he screams enough where the birds start flying out of the trees in the grove. All right, all right, all right. They call me the Hanger. Mort the Hanger. He's getting paler and paler, though the bleeding has slowed down a little bit. What do you want? I don't have anything.
Mort the Hanger. So are you the leader of the Tin Sums? Is that what you are? Mort the Hanger?
No, you don't know what you're talking about. He's continuing to cough up blood.
Well, you're living and dying for somebody then. So who is it?
Hey, he looked after us. He looked after us when no one else would. And it's kill or be killed. I got no problem dying in this field right here because I've lived a life more than anyone in that town. Thanks to the Sums. And we're never going away to stop us.
Living in a hole in the middle of this field?
Now you see he's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Living down underground like a rat?
How'd you know that?
We know a lot.
Yeah, so you gonna cut my throat or what? There's no way I'm going back there like this. I'm as good as dead anyway.
I just look at Pethrina.
So what time are you expected back?
Come and go as we please.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm free that way. What time do you have to be back? Pointy ears.
How long till they miss you?
Nobody's gonna miss me.
Okay, then. No reason to keep you alive. And I'm gonna grab hold of that arrow again.
And he screams, "Wah! Wah! What do you want to know? What do you want to know?"
Everything.
You keep twisting that on him. Eventually, yeah, I mean, he screams and he tells you everything.
Well, I want to know what they have to do with Nephthys.
He doesn't know anything about
Know anything
Nepsis.
about that? Or I want to know how many people are in that hole that he lives in.
He's like, I didn't do a head count. I just
Guess.
came home in the evening.
10, 20, 100?
I don't know. I mean, there's 9. Maybe.
Does that include your leader?
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there.
What's his name?
You really... You're gonna kill me. If he finds out... Just kill me now. He's like hesitant.
Okay.
What's your buddy's name?
I don't even know this guy. He's new. I mean, it's probably why you got the jump on us, because he's supposed to be keeping an eye. I was gonna show him the ropes. Now look at him, broken nose. You gonna kill him too? He's probably just some punk kid. And this guy's not that old either. I mean, he might be late 20s.
You're good, right?
I'm chaotic good.
Okay, yeah, but you're still good. Okay, just... Okay. So he's not going to tell me the leader's name?
Well, that depends.
It depends? Okay.
What are you prepared to do? If I tell you, he'll kill me.
He's that powerful? He could find you anywhere?
He's powerful. He runs the whole show. He runs this whole operation.
9 guys living in a hole? That's a hell of an operation.
We live like kings. And that's saying something coming from Kelton. Place is a garbage dump. Those people beg to be robbed. I mean, what are they gonna do? I make good use of the stuff I get.
You should.
Yeah.
Into what? Lying?
Yeah. Shoot, you and your fancy armor, you with your pointy ears, you never lived in the streets. You had to do the things that I had to do to the people I had to do it to. You don't know.
I'll just, like, put up my hands and I'll sit on the other guy. And just look at Betharina.
What do you want?
What do you mean what I want?
We could kill you. Do you want to live?
Well, everyone wants to live. It's just everybody knows they gotta go a certain time.
So what will it take for you to tell us all that we're asking?
I got a broad in town. I got her where she's with child. You make sure that me and her get out of this town. I don't care how you do it. I'll tell you. And give me his gold pieces. Pointing to the guy who's knocked out.
I'm sitting on. Okay. Fair enough. Sounds like a deal. But you don't double cross us.
Shoot, you wouldn't know if I did double cross you. You just don't have any. I don't have anything to lose.
No, you don't.
So we have a deal or what? You're one of those clerics, right?
I am.
You got any of those fancy healing potions?
Don't need potions.
Why don't you heal me up?
Why don't you tell us everything first? And then we'll walk you out of here. We'll go find your woman fast.
Nim. His name's Kilroy Nim.
Doesn't ring any bells with us, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, let me... No.
Okay.
He's down there, like, most of the time. Sometimes he's not. When there's a job being pulled, a big job, sometimes he's not there. He's a bad man.
Are you a bad man?
I'm just trying to survive. That's it. I already told you.
He had a backpack on too, right? This guy, Mort.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the same thing with a dagger in it?
No, he's got one on his pant leg, and it's empty too, so he can stuff stuff in it.
Okay.
What else do you want to know?
So he doesn't stay in the hole with you
He's there most of the time.
most of the time. Okay.
Got himself an office down there, real nice like.
Oh, of course, full of all kinds of luxury items.
Oh yeah, fancy chairs and tables.
Of course.
He's
How long have you worked for him?
Oh, probably since I was 12. I didn't grow up a very happy life, you see. I was one of those fancy boys.
How old
you know
is he
what I'm saying?
like?
Like
18, 19?
late 20s.
Oh, really? He's a veteran.
No, he tells you, he's like, as a kid, I was made to lay with woman and man. I did all sorts of things. And then Nim came in, took out the other guy. He became boss. Then we did everything real legitimate, like no more whoring around. We just take things from people. Honest living.
All right. It's good enough for me.
Be careful down there. Okay, am I healing now?
Yeah, we're working up to that.
Working up to it? I'm working on dying. At this point, you're hearing the guy underneath you kind of shifting around a little bit.
All right. You want to yank that arrow out of him, and I'll start casting Cure Light Wounds.
Okay, I'll yank it out.
Screams. You pull it out this way?
I will actually break the tip off.
Oh, is it poking through somewhere? I thought it was just like inside him.
It's inside of him.
Oh, it's inside of him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, pull it out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm assuming you can't like leave it in there, right? If I'm not gonna cure, unless the magic
I don't
makes it
think so.
dissolve or something.
I don't think so. Because if you're poisoned and you're brought back, you're still
poisoned. Yeah.
He passes out. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Unconscious.
Yeah, well,
Good, because the other guy's waking up.
Yeah.
All right. And so you heal him. He's still passed out.
Okay. And then
He's still out.
We'll snip the one in his thigh and pull that out because he had 2 arrows in him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that guy underneath you is stirring now.
Okay. All right. So let's just so he doesn't run anywhere, tie this guy up.
Okay.
And as far as this guy knows, he's dead.
So I'll go drag him back to where my backpack is, and
I'm gonna take some of that blood that he has all over him and put it all on his dagger.
Oh.
And then be standing there with a dagger in my hand. And that guy wakes up. I'll roll him over so he's looking at me. Or the guy's, face up.
You're over him like this.
Yeah.
Now this guy is like 18.
Okay.
He's a young guy. Don't kill me, man. He's all no good because his nose is all black and blue.
Yeah. I'll wipe the blood off the dagger.
All right.
So that's entirely up to you. Your friend is something that I would describe as a fatalist. Very dim view on his future and his life.
He wets himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to corroborate what I can with him. I want to say so you work for Mr. Nim, is that right? Your friend his diction was terrible.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
What's his first name?
Kilroy.
Kilroy Nim. Well, what can you tell me about Mr. Nim?
He's the boss. He took me in when I didn't have nothing. He takes care of us.
Did he teach you anything? How to steal?
I'm learning
From him?
from all of them, man.
Oh, okay. I see. Do you like living in that hole in the ground?
Better than what I was living. I don't have to listen to nobody. Nobody has to tell me to do the crops or feed the livestock. I'm my own man.
Well, you know they're going to put a bounty on your head.
Who?
The town. They're tired of it. They've had enough.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that.
More money than you probably would have made in your whole life. Just for your head.
You can see this guy is trying to act tough.
No, okay.
She's like, I don't believe that. I've heard that before.
And so what can you tell me about the Church of Nephthys?
When you tell me about Nephthys, I don't even know what you're talking about. What is that? A bug?
No, it's an old god.
Oh God, I don't believe in no gods.
So Kilroy Nem doesn't. Does he wear any kind of necklace or pendant? Things like that?
The only thing he worships is the coin.
Oh.
And whatever can bring him the coin.
What about Caitlin Brehound? You ever heard of Caitlin Brehound?
Not that I know of.
No. You've never taken anyone? You just take things? What about livestock?
I'm new here. I haven't had time yet to, put my mark on this town.
I'm gonna. Do you have paper? Paper and pen?
No.
You really don't? No? Neither of us have paper and pen?
Mm-mm.
Oh, shit. So, we're like in the grass. Is there a spot where there's just like dirt?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna drag him over there. And I'm gonna tell him to. I'm gonna draw the entrance to the place. And I'll go, there's stairs leading down, and there's a landing. And I'm gonna describe it and draw it out in the dirt. And I'll say, now you start telling me the rest. There's this door here. What's behind that door?
So he's like hesitant. He's like, do you know what they'd do if I told you what was going on? Told you that? They'd kill me, man.
They're not gonna know whether you told us or not, and they're gonna assume you did. So you may as well tell us everything. Maybe you'll get out of this alive.
Roll 3d6.
All right. 6, 10. What am I rolling against?
Charisma?
My charisma is a 9.
And you got what?
That's my dump stat. I got 10.
You got 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like, "Psst. I know you try to act like you're, big tough guy, but you're a church guy. You're a church man in a metal suit. That's all you are. You're not going to hurt me.
My friend isn't.
Pointy ears, they love, like, nature and leaves and stuff.
Are we gonna bury the other one, or just leave him?
What are you talking about?
Your friend?
I don't think you...
Still not saying anything.
So how am I going to get out of this? I don't want to die. So what are you going to offer me? I'm going to risk my life telling you this stuff.
That's all you have to bargain with is your life.
He finally kind of... All right. So he marks it out in the dirt. And you see that in the dirt.
Mm. Which one is the big man's office?
One in the center. One in the center.
Wow, right by the front door?
That's how he...
That's
That's how he is. He leads from the front. Not like all these scumbags or like people who hide behind people's backs and then ambush him. Nose still bleeding.
I see what you did there. So he only took an arrow in the thigh, right?
Which one?
This guy.
This guy? Did you shoot him in the thigh?
Yeah, he took an arrow.
I thought I missed.
No, you hit him twice.
Yeah, you're right.
You hit the first guy once.
Yeah.
And then you hit that guy twice, and then you went back to the other guy and hit that guy again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he's got one in his...
Yeah, he's got, like, one was probably a graze, was only a hit point. Well, I mean, if we want to think of it that way, but, like, yeah, assuming he's got an arrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of sticking... It went all the way through, so it's sticking through.
Okay. I'm going to flip him back over, face down. And then,
What are you doing?
I'll motion to Betharina and we'll step out of earshot if we can. So, I mean, I gave the other one my word. We'll do what he said. We'll get his woman and him out of town. Give him the 5 gold. Okay. What about this one? I'll do it if you don't have a stomach for it. I'm lawful neutral. If that's what you're looking for.
Lawful neutral.
Yeah. To me, it's like, I'll save this guy, I'll kill this guy.
Do what you have to do.
I'll take him out!
The guy you just talked to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never worked out the details of how we get to prove that we, like, we've, so, I mean, I don't remember, Meinhof didn't really say, right? Like, dead or alive. You know what? No, I won't do that. We'll take him back. Because I don't know. We got to get the 100 gold for him. And he never said whether it was dead or alive. And we know this is one of the ones from yesterday, so hopefully they got to look at his face. And we'll turn him in. And then they can meet out the justice to him.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we'll do that.
let's you walk this guy back to town, and I will help this guy to get his woman and.
Are you sure? I mean, he's disarmed, but, I've healed him back up. So that guy's passed out from pulling the arrow out of him. Like, even though he's been healed, he's still unconscious. So. And he's covered in blood.
He's going to be out for
Like an hour.
Longer than that.
Longer than that.
You're not sure,
Do you
but a
wanna
few
wait here
hours
with
at
him?
least.
And I'll come back. I'll take this guy back up, at least as far as the gate. So, I mean, I don't know if the city watch will take him off my hands. They already know. Everybody knows we got ambushed outside of town. We'll just say it happened again.
Okay. Okay, I'll stay here with this guy.
All right. I'll go back and get our bags and bring them back up to where we're at now.
Okay.
And I'll don my backpack, and then I'll grab that guy. So he's already still secured. If I can carry him, I'll pick him up and carry him. Like Iron
Hoist
Man
him
carry
up.
him, yeah. So
Okay. And you're going to take him back
I'm gonna take him
to
back to town.
the bazaar?
If
where
I can go to the bazaar, if I don't get stopped along the way, I'll go to the bazaar. I'll go to Meinhof.
Okay. Carrying him heavy, you'll move a little slower.
I figured.
So it'll take probably a couple hours.
Or maybe I
Before
should
it's
just
all done.
maybe I'll leave my backpack. I'll just leave my backpack with Bethrina. I'll just carry him.
Okay.
That makes more sense. I don't think I would do that.
Okay. And then you'll wait for him to return. So, you make it back there a couple hours.
Okay.
You eventually get to
Do
the...
they recognize the guy, the kid?
They kind of like start closing in around you as you're walking. And one of them's like, mine off, and all this. And, and he turns and looks, and he looks up, and you see him like grab the head of hair and lift it up and look at it. And set him down. And so, do you set him down?
Yeah, set him down. Yeah.
Like a sack of
What you were
potatoes.
saying, yeah. I'll lay him down. I'll say
and-
his nose got broken in the scuffle, but he.
That's unfortunate, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's unfortunate. Yeah, he's he's what you would expect. He spoke a little bit before I knocked him out. They tried to play ambuscades again along the road and attacked us.
So then, am I to assume that we have no need to put up the notices tomorrow?
I think, yeah, you can assume that you don't need to put the notices. You can save the coin. You don't need it for anything.
So he reaches in his pouch and pulls out equivalent, pulls out 100 gold pieces,
Okay.
hands them over to you,
Okay.
pulls out another 50,
Okay.
puts them in your hand, closes them, says, thank you. Thank you. And everybody kind of like, hurrah! And then a mob of them grab that dude and just drag him
Drag
off.
away. That's all.
So,
That's all I need to know. I don't
and
need to know
he's
anything else.
swallowed by
Right.
the...
Yeah. Right. And then I'll beat cheeks back to Bethrina.
All right. So it's been a couple hours. So it's 2 p.m.
All right.
Can we stop here?
I'm fine with that if...
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.